quilts and the art of quilting have been enjoyed for generations. Hyderhangout, Quilt Fabric and More in downtown Cleveland is all things quilts and much more. Hyderhangout stocks a vast selection of beautiful fabrics from upholstery to evening wear and will special order hard-to-find items. Find all the accessories to make any project fun and easy. Hyderhangout offers expert instruction with classes for the beginner and the advanced. Ready to show your style? Get to Hyderhangout Quilt Fabric and More, 219 First Street Northeast, downtown Cleveland.
You know that feeling you get when you just scored a bargain? Well,
welcome back, everybody. Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Welcome back to the Good Morning Show. I've been told this morning that I am the most peppy person around, so I'm going to keep it to it.
We did not say the most peppy, but you're peppy for you. Keep it up with me is hard.
That's
right. You're in a category all your own.
Compared to Susan, I think I'm doing okay. Anyways, welcome back to the Good Morning Show, I should say. Thank you, Pastor Kadeem, for being in this morning for her segment for Empowered Living. It's 9:35 on May 10th, and we're switching it up on our Wednesday for a little bit of a different schedule here. Got a lot of guests coming in, but we do have with us now, we have Miss Susan Hyder.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Good, good. So we are now part 4 of 6?
Uh-huh.
Part 4 of 6. All right. On Monday, we were discussing the pinwheel block.
Yes.
And now what do we have on tap for today?
Well, what does this look like? Okay, can you see?
Wendy, help me.
It's lovely.
It's all stars.
Like
Remember, the whole quilt is stars.
Is that a...
But this in the middle, what is this?
Oh, your stitches?
No, the block.
Oh, the blocks.
In the middle is a...
Well, it looks like a square.
But it's a 4-patch.
4-patch.
So it's got a simple name, no history to it. It's a 4-patch star.
Okay, 4-patch star.
And see, we're showing these blocks on point, but this is how the block looks if it's just that way. There's a few things we're catching Wendy up on. So
yes, Wendy has missed a few episodes.
I love these segments.
Yeah.
So here's our pattern.
All right.
And as usual, it has all kinds of things on it that you need, and of course, it's got a little picture. And the patterns come with different colors than what we made this quilt in. You can do your own colors, and then it has what you need of how many of each shape, and then it's got your step-by-step, and then it's got the step-by-step, and then the bonus thing on all of them is how to do half square triangles.
Yes.
And so each of the patterns of this particular quilt has that bonus on there, how to do half square triangles.
This one does not, the one that you have in front of you, that does not have any half square triangles. Am I correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Wowee, he's pretty good.
But it looks like half square
No.
triangles.
These are.
Those are full squares. Well, those are flying geese on the outside.
Yeah.
And then
see, he knows.
Jay has been taking notes.
Right.
There are no half square triangles in this 4-square block.
He could teach this.
It has triangles. It has 8 of the just triangles, and then it'll have 2 each of squares, and there's 2 different colors, and then 4 each of the goose triangle and the squares. So they're all combinations of things we've seen already. So it's another one of those beginner friendly. Okay, the center, let me get these out here. The center, let's go over here, because I do have a little bit of, what we are making is a 4-patch. Can we go to the
Yes, ma'am.
close up here?
There you go.
So we have made 2 of these, and we've pressed them towards
the dark side.
Yes. So we've pressed them towards the dark. And what we have now is, we've talked about this before, but we're going to go over this again because we've got a little bit of time. This is a relatively simple block. They got a little lump here. When this is pressed this direction, you've got like a little lump. And then when you put the 2 of these together, you've got like the little ledge, and they butt up against each other. And so you will sew them along and keep the butted edge up. So you sew along, and then your point matches right there. So that fits right there, and this is what they call a 4-patch. You can do a 4-patch and do just 4 patches on a quilt. You can do a 4-patch and put sashing in between or lattice, which we've talked about before. And that's the 4-patch, and this is where the name of this star, 4-patch star. So the center is the 4-patch. And do you remember what else is in here? What's this right here?
That's the flying geese.
That's
and
a
then
flying
in the middle,
geese.
and then you have just your regular square patch on
Right.
the outside.
Oh, so the big triangle.
This is a flying goose, and I'll review this for Wendy's benefit.
Thank you.
We have our big triangle and 2 of the little ones, and you put them right sides together, and sometimes on these white on whites it's hard to tell the right side. But you sew this side first, and you'll sew it here, 1/4 inch seam. Da-da-da-da-da. I like this sewing here. Just whip it together. We could do this with a machine, but it would be taking a little bit longer. You have that one there. You sew it down, and then you press it. And the way that the flying geese lay, this is exception to the press to the dark side rule. Because once you get this other one on, you'll have like 4 or 5 layers up here, and if you try to press them towards the dark, they don't lay as well, and it's not as flat. So then you sew the other one on. So you sew the other one on. So you've pressed this one that way, and see it's got it pressed towards the light. And then you come and sew this other one on.
And it's like the wings of the goose?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. And then you press it like that, and you have a flying geese. And you have a flying geese block. And we've, over the past couple months, have seen quite a few blocks with flying geese. And so he knows what half square triangles, flying geese, and
I love it.
so we have,
that
we've
makes
made
me happy.
4 of these. So for this quilt, we've got 4 flying geese.
Sorry, Wendy's over here making little subtle comments
I heard that.
under her breath, but she forgets there's a microphone that's 6 inches from her mouth that I can hear clearly in my
So
ear.
can everybody else in TV land.
Yes, thank you, Wendy.
I was saying that to
yeah, la,
Susan,
la, la, la.
because we know.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Continue, Susan.
So we
Excuse
have
us.
made, now we have the flying geese, and we've sewed the triangle, the squares on the end. So you make 2 units like this, okay? And then you get your 4-patch, and we will, right direction, flying geese, and remember the little tip we said we put the pin through the point on the flying goose and put it with the seam so that it matches. And we will have this other one here. Turn it around. Whoop. That point's way off. Let's move it a little bit. There we go. And so we sew both of those, and we end up with our center row.
Throw that over on the close-up camera once you're done. There we go.
Okay, we've got that, and we've matched the points here and here. And of course the pin takes up a little bit more than the thread would, but that's your center. And then you put your other row here. So basically this is another one of those that has 3 rows.
Nice.
Most of these on this whole series has the 3 rows. And so you end up with,
And once you've
There we go.
sewn
We'll go
it,
back-
you
we'll
go
go back to
back
this
and press it.
yes.
Okay.
You press in, if you press in between each step, it works better. Plus, you check your measurements in case, you know, these are cut with a die cutter, so they're more accurate as long as your 1/4-inch seam is accurate.
Okay.
So, but this is our block, and I'm going to try to show it not on point and then show you on point. That's the block, straight, and I'm going to go ahead and show this again. There may be some people in TV land or Wendy that didn't see the whole thing. But these are 6 different stars, and this is number 4, so we've only got 2 more. And these are all stars. And set on point is what, Jay?
Set on point?
Wait.
Set on point.
See, I think I missed that episode. That was a Josh.
Oh, okay.
Wait, now,
What
are
it
you
is,
talking
set
about-
on point,
are you-
instead of the squares being like that, which is squared, they're set on point, so they're on point. So they're
Like, for instance, the one on, they're all set on point. Because
they're all set on point
sideways,
in this
yeah.
square, in this
Except,
quilt.
well, no, the pinwheel
Just looks
is
different.
also, yeah, it just looks different because it has the extra half square triangle on the other side.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Nice.
isn't that cool?
Okay.
And the thing about setting on point, it actually can make your quilt bigger. And then you have all this space in here if you're doing some fancy quilting. This is just an all-over pattern, but if you wanted to do something like a big flower or something in here.
That looks fancy to me.
This is not, this is just an all-over pattern. It's really, the girl that did this did a really good job.
It's really
I'm gonna go
pretty.
right there. There we go.
Charmin Morris Gaby did it.
So,
And I'm going to tell her and send it to her on Facebook. But yeah, she did a wonderful job here.
Yes. Okay, question. When you're, all the squiggly lines all over pattern, are you just like moving your...
Okay, there's 2 ways to do it. If you have a big long arm machine that you load the quilt onto, you move the machine. Okay? The other way to do it is move the fabric. So if you have your home machine, you'll take your quilt and you'll go like this, and you got to roll it up so you can get to the center part or something. So you roll it up this way. I'm rolling it together, but this is an impromptu, but this will work. And you roll it this way so that you have this, and you'll put this in your machine, and you will work and you will move this piece.
Just a little at a time. Okay.
So that's why the advantage of the big trays on the quilting machines. And I don't know if you got to watch that episode where the girl came in and used that machine and
No,
showed us
I
that
didn't.
fancy dancy machine. But you move the quilt when it's the home
And
machine.
that's just random. There's no...
This is just random, right?
Okay.
'cause
There's other patterns.
You've put everything else together. I guess I don't want to say correctly because it's not incorrect, but you've put everything on there to scale. So everything else that you do to keep it together is just kind of like what Wendy's saying. It's not really random, but it is like.
Well, it is random because it's not. She kind of did the same repeat, but it's and it's human, and that's what I like about it. It's human. There are long arm machines that are computerized, and they're really not so random. Like if it has a flower that it repeats, it's ever so often. And the long arm machines, I don't like the computerized ones as much, but they're more economical because you don't have to sit right there and the person do it.
Right.
Kind of, sort of more economical. If the machine costs more, of course, because you've got the computer and stuff.
Right.
But in the meantime, I like the human touch to it. And there are people that like the hand touch to it. So the hand quilting, if you were quilting this by hand, you'd have it in your lap and in a hoop or something, and you would just take your needle and thread and just go.
My Aunt Minnie did that.
Right.
Yes. She was
I don't
a
have the
hand
time
quilter.
to do the handwork. I rarely even do the binding by hand because most people will just sew the first edge on by machine and then flip it over and do the back by hand. If somebody pays me to do the binding by hand, I'll do it, or I've got a girl that does it. But as far as the quilt itself, the quilting, we have a saying, quilt by credit card. Get a long armor to do it.
That's funny.
But yeah, there's a lot of people that they do the tops, and there's kind of another cute term out there that they say, well, I'm not a quilter, I'm a topper. So I just make the top and then let somebody else do the quilting part. So there's both of that, and we could use all the toppers and all the quilters we could get in the Quilt of Valor too, and ironers and stuff. So this Saturday we're doing a sew-in, so you could come. If nothing else, you can iron.
I can iron. I can do that.
I can iron like a beast. But I don't know about...
But you're going to be out of town, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be back, though.
Saturday, we'll come to the shop and work on Quilt of Valor.
I will not be here on Saturday. Let's talk Monday, and we'll see what we can try to do then. Do you have the block on there that you want to show folks that we're going to do next week? Or you'll be gone next week, right? Because you're going to be
Monday
at
I will
market.
come in and leave town after I
That's
come
right.
on TV. I like you guys so much, I'm going to come and see you and then go home and wake my husband up and say bye to him. He works late at night, so... But I'm going to come and do that. I'm going to see if I can figure out which one, where it is. Because...
So we've
Have
done...
you done the pinwheel?
We've done the pinwheel.
We
I did
haven't
that.
done this one, but this will be after I get back from Quilt Market. That one we haven't done yet.
And that's another variation of a four square
Four
block.
patches in the middle.
Yeah.
But there's four patches here and here and here. And that one, and I've lost track. I should have put a pin on all of them. I think the next one for Monday is... No, I think we've already done that one.
Because we did, yeah. We'll see.
Okay, we did.
I don't know what...
We did
I'm
that one
I'm
Monday.
learning as I go, so I don't know.
We did that
we
one.
did that one, yeah.
Friday before.
The one that right there in your left hand, we hadn't done that one yet, have we?
That's probably the one, because I think this one here was the very first one. This is the
Right.
free
yeah,
trade.
I think that's the yeah. We did the
So
free
I think
trade.
this is the one that we're going to be doing Monday. That one there. Yeah,
Which
we have
that's
not done that one. That will be Monday.
That's like a. It has flying geese on it, but it doesn't have anything. Well, no, it has a half square. That's weird. It's got a little bit of. What's the deal with this one here? Well, I don't want to spoil it though, because we'll have a whole segment to spend on it.
I'm so
that was a good teaser. That was a good teaser. Yeah. I'm sitting there trying to figure it out. So.
Yeah, well, now he's going to be looking at quilts, and he's not going to be looking at the overall quilt. He's going to say, "How did they do that?"
I know. I love
And
it.
sometimes there's some that you can't figure out. And I've had a few people come in and they'll say, "Well, how do I put this together? I've got this, and I took a picture of it, but I don't have the pattern." And there's been a couple that have stumped me that I haven't been able to figure out how they did it.
Wow.
Because sometimes they do some really weird tricks and sew strips together and then cut them, and so that's pretty cool.
Interesting. It's an art.
Questions?
Oh, yes.
It really is.
Any questions?
Oh yeah, I'll ask all the questions you want since you
Yes,
don't come
Wendy,
very
'cause
often.
you got 5 minutes to ask some questions
Well,
before the top of the hour here. So
I was curious about the pattern in the the quilting part
Right.
of it.
that was actually a question
And-
that I had also had, because I didn't know if that was. I figured that we would get to that at some point.
We
and I
will.
didn't want to spoil it, but
But
it
it's-
is because it is unique.
Yeah.
And it depends on how much you want to really do and how much you want to keep it together, I guess.
Yes.
How many stitches you actually sew in there.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Well, remember when we talked to about the batting,
yes.
and we said some of them you have to sew closer together than others.
Depending on the thickness of
the
so it doesn't,
thickness
so it
and
doesn't
what
spread
kind
out.
it is, and that kind of thing. So sometimes it says you must sew 3 inches apart. Other times it says you can sew up to 8 inches apart.
What kind of batting is in this one?
This one is just I think it's a polyester. Yeah, it's just a lightweight polyester.
Okay.
'Cause
Any other questions?
Well, I was my grandmother sewed on a machine, like what you just did. And I've just never had the interest of learning to do it. She crocheted. She did so many amazing things. And now, as I've gotten older, I would love to know how to do it and just to take the time out to do it. But she would make so many things. But my Aunt Minnie hand sewed, hand quilted. And when she was ill in the bed, she had this huge frame that I don't know, it was like in front of her. I can just remember that, and she'd be in the bed just, quilting, and I don't know, I was amazed by that.
Yes.
Anyway,
The hand quilting part takes some patience. I've got a girl at the shop that she does everything by hand, everything by hand. And these blocks that are not finished, she's got a block trade, and she's got some arthritis, and she has a hard time, and she wiggles, so she has a hard time cutting anything out. So some of these blocks that I haven't finished all the way up, I'm going to give to her and let her do, because there's a block trade that we've done. We have 20 blocks, and you trade with 20 people, and you end up with 20 blocks back, and everybody signs them, and that's a cool thing.
Oh, that's neat.
But you can learn how to quilt.
I know. It's
beginning quilting class is starting in June. Again, I don't know which Thursday we'll get it started, but we're going to do it again. The class now that's going on now is going into their tomorrow will be their 4th class, and then they have 2 more. And they do homework each week, and they have 2 weeks between class. I don't know it'll be exactly 2 weeks because of all the other things that happen on Thursday evenings, but we're going to have another beginning quilting starting in June. I just have to see when in June it starts.
Okay.
Because we also have the row by row coming up, and the 28th, the row by row state coordinator will be coming in here and talking about row by row.
Nice.
Yes.
All
and
right.
the Quilts of Valor, can you mention that one more time? Because I love that you
It's
are involved in that.
well, we do Quilts of Valor. There's actually 2 groups meeting in Cleveland now. They are having one at the Monday at the Cleveland Workspace, which is down at the woolen mill. I think their time's 11 to 2. It's a sew-in down there to do. We will have an all-day at the shop this Saturday, the 13th. You come in, we've got a bunch cut out. You can come in and do some pressing, pinning for a quilter, or when they do when the blocks, as they sew them, you clip them apart and take them and press them. I can show somebody how to cut on the die cutter or whatever. But at 3:30, we have a club, Stash Busters Club at 3:30, the state coordinator who was in here, Karen Downer, will be in to the shop, and she will teach 2 blocks. One is a snowball block, and one is a floating star. And it's very easy, just like these are very easy. It's just step by step by step. If you look at the overall thing and go, it's probably like building a car. If you do step by step by step, one thing at a time, you could do it. But if I thought about having to build a car, I'd be going, I can't do it, but I've seen people do it.
Right.
And it's probably pretty much the same thing with quilting.
Well, and patience.
Right, which I have ample amounts of, so I will be a great quilter.
Yes, you will.
That and peppiness.
Yes.
Well, you don't have to be peppy to quilt, but it helps when you come to quilt till you wilt. We had root beer floats.
See, I'd be in it for that, yeah.
Yeah, well, see, the quilt till you wilt, you never know what people are going to bring. And this one girl, she called up and she says, well, how many people are there? And I told her, and she says, okay, I'm bringing a quart. And I go, huh? Or a half gallon. And I go, huh? She says, you'll see. And then she comes in and she says, anybody like root beer floats? And everybody just like dropped their stuff. Oh, root beer floats. We had fun.
That's fun, yes. Jay's there if there's food.
Right.
Well,
I'm down
first
for
Saturday.
Some root beer floats.
First Saturday of
signing me
next
up for
month,
stuff.
come in around 6 and there's food.
I'll see what I
You're
can.
so knowledgeable.
I'll see what I can do.
You know, we could do that. Is you could film one of the quilt till you wilts and put it on for my segment instead of
We like you coming into the studio.
Well, I know that, but you could come over there and
I'll see what I can do.
we could do something extra.
Thanks,
A
Wendy.
little twist.
All right, we are at the top of the hour. Susan, you will be here on Monday.
Monday. Yeah, you
and,
go, yeah.
And we will have a new block that we will
Right.
be going over, part 5 of 6.
6, right.
And then you'll be taking off for the quilt market.
And hopefully somebody up there can teach me how to do Facebook Live, so on Friday I can check in with you guys. But I haven't been able to figure it out on my phone yet, and you guys have
We'll show you.
iPhones.
We'll show you. We'll get it figured out. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, Miss Wendy has a guest that's coming in, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know.
Maybe? Ooh.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Cliffhanger. We'll see at the top of the hour. Will Wendy have a guest?
I'm thinking not. I just
So Wendy
got a
and I will
text
sit here
from
and
their
talk to each
dad.
other for a little bit more. So.
Oh,
All right, well, thank you, Susan, for coming in. We'll see you on Monday, and stick with us. We'll be right back.
Quilts and the art of quilting have been enjoyed for generations. Hyder Hangout, Quilt Fabric and More in downtown Cleveland is all things quilts and much more. Hyder Hangout stocks a vast selection of beautiful fabrics from upholstery to evening wear and will special order hard to find items. Find all the accessories to make any project fun and easy. Hyder Hangout offers expert instruction with classes for the beginner and the advanced. Ready to show your style? Get to Hyder Hangout, Quilt Fabric and More, 219 First Street Northeast, downtown